What's up, guys? This is Coach Grant with First Down Training, and today we're going to be breaking down Antonio Brown's route running. And please leave in the comments, guys, who you guys would like to see me break down next. That would really mean a lot. So let's get started. So this is Antonio Brown at training camp with the Raiders. Now, off the line, you're going to see here, he's just working a drill with this dummy, but he's working this famous split release from him. Now, this split release, what it does is it gets this DB on his heels. He's being very patient, kind of a hesitant, and what that's mimicking is getting this DB on his heels. He's gathering information with this split release. Now, you always got to be working your hands. You always got to have a plan for your hands and your feet. And this is a very basic drill that even one of the greats of all time is working. So he swats, rips underneath. Now, he's coming up here off this third outside step. I want you guys to notice this real sudden stick. This is the definition of a sudden stick. He doesn't telegraph his movement. It looks like he's just selling vertical right now. Bam, foot in the ground. And what does he do? Even on something so simple as a post off the third outside step, he's selling this thing with shoulder and head movement, and he's exploding off this inside arch of his foot to get some separation from this DB when he makes the route, because ultimately it's a race once we get into the route, it is a race to the ball. Who's going to get to the ball first, the receiver or the DB? And if you're exploding off that inside arch of your foot and you're giving him a little bit of shoulder and head fake to get this DB off his platform, if this were a game time scenario, you're going to get some separation, guys. So he explodes off, catches this ball, and gets upfield. All right, so now this is game time against the Colts. Now, he's been setting this dude up. He's been beating this guy. He beat this guy on his out and up right now, but he's also been beating this guy on a fade all day long off the same exact stem. Now, he's going to be working this stem, making this route look exactly the same. So he's coming out full speed here, full speed, closing the distance with this DB. That's what you want to do. Anytime you're working in zone coverage, you want to close the distance, close that gap between the DB. So he's coming here, closing the gap with the DB. Now, what he does is he stems this thing up like he's just going vertical right now, which gets this DB working inside. That's exactly what we want to accomplish with the stem. Then he takes it up for 3 steps. So stem, 1, 2, 3. Sudden stick. He's pushing off that inside arch like we were talking about. A little bit of body movement, not so much head movement to the outside, but that's where we need to be. We need to make every single break look the same, make every single route look the same to be effective with our route running. So then he attacks this thing 3 steps to the inside. Now, this is another definition of a sudden stick. 3 steps. He does not telegraph this movement. He's just putting his foot in the ground right now so he can explode up. He's pushing again off that inside arch, and he's going to get these hands off the guy. Now, he does a good job. He probably didn't want him to stay home as much. He probably wanted him to overcommit more than what he did with that stem. And when he makes this third step, he cuts back underneath him. But you always got to have a plan. You always got to be reacting as a receiver to the DB. So he comes underneath. He's able to react, and he still works his hand technique, slaps this DB's hands off, able to get some separation, guys. Our hand technique is not just used off the line of scrimmage when we're working a release. It's used inside the route. You want to pretend like that DB has crap underneath his fingernails and you do not want him to touch you. Get his hands off, then be able to get up into this route. He gets some separation for about 1 or 2 steps, and then he starts looking back for the ball. He doesn't beat him right now. He doesn't beat him here and then start looking back and have him slow down and then allow this DB to recover. He starts looking back once he gets about 1 or 2 steps on him. He knows Big Ben's going to put that ball in a good spot for him, which is what he does. And DB, see, the DB almost still caught up on it. DB didn't have that bad of a recovery, but because he got some separation first, he was able to make this catch. All right. So here, Antonio Brown's going to be working a post out. Now, what I want you to notice about on this release is this first jab step. He takes a little bit of a wide step on this release. That's not the best wide step, but he's got to get off into this route. He's got some space from this guy, so he doesn't want to waste too much time. And a post out is a longer developing route, especially when you're in. This is a 2-man look, because as you can see, this DB's over the top here, playing in this cover 2, and then this DB's here, man-to-man. How we can tell it's man-to-man because his eyes are on Antonio Brown. So it's probably a 2-man look. Now, he comes off this line. He knows he's got to get into this route. What does he do to get... He takes off fast. I love this. His eyes are going straight forward. It looks like he's selling the fade, just trying to run right by this guy. What this does is it alerts him. He's thinking, okay, he's running fade right now. That's what he's thinking. I don't want to get beat over the top. So now as he's coming, as you can see here, he dips this shoulder. That's what I want you guys to take away from this. Anytime we're trying to come off press, guys, and anytime we're just trying to get into this route to restack this DB, to get on top over here, as you can see, the line's already been drawn, you got to dip that shoulder, because as you can see, what happens is he tries to come over the top and get hands, and he loses him because Antonio Brown dips that shoulder, rips underneath, rips this right arm through to get his hands off of him, so he's able to restack him and get on this path here. So what he does is he restacks him. He comes off of this route. He goes off this third outside. He takes it to the post for 3, 4, 5 steps, and he makes this stick to the outside. Now, what he does, I want you to notice on this post, he committed his entire body to the post, and look where his eyes are. His eyes are looking at Big Ben. Now, what does that do? That alerts his eyes, and that alerts his eyes that the post is coming right now. Now, I want you to see what this does to the corner. They are manned up right now. This is 2 man. So, he's coming out. Bam. He completely runs to this post. Now, what he does, too, is he does a great job of getting on this 45-degree angle. He doesn't round this thing and come out here. He puts this foot in the ground, and he explodes, like we were saying, off that inside arch of this foot. He's pushing off of this angle so he could snap that head around fast and get some separation, and that's exactly what he does. Stick, snaps his head around, and he's able to get a nice little catch here with the toe tap. All right. This is a film from training camp, I think about last year, around this time last year. Now, he takes this wide step off. It's a little bit tough to see because that's where the clip cuts. But as he's working up, he attacks this DB's weak hip. This is the DB's weak hip. He's turned with him. He's trying to get hands on him. He's trying to work him off this route, screw up the timing with the quarterback. Antonio Brown does a good job of attacking the back of his shoulder. See, guys, a lot of what you'll do is you'll fight with his hands and not the back of his shoulder or his elbows. You want to fight with this back of the shoulder, elbow, because that's our point of control. So he attacks this point of control and attacks this weak hip. Now, what he does here is to get this DB to kick up into second gear. Look at his eyes. He's looking like he's getting the ball right now. Big Ben's going to drop this thing on the 30, and they're going to have a nice little gain over the top. So what does he do? His instinct is to catch up and be fast. DB's instinct is, okay, oh crap, he's beating me over the top. Now what does Antonio Brown do? This is the definition of having violent hips right here, guys. So he's coming in. Violent hips, drops 2, 3, 4, running the stop route. He's able to snap his head back around and catch this ball. That's a great job being able to stop right on a dime. And the key for receivers to change directions fast, being able to get in and out of breaks, is having violent hips, dropping right here, trying to get his chin to his knee, and then flip that head around, swat him by, get some separation from this guy, and catch this ball. That's a great job by Antonio Brown, stopping right on a dime. Okay, so same practice film. Now, Antonio Brown takes this little bit of a hesitation release, a little bit of a hop with a jab, quick jab outside. Now, what I want you to notice is he still gives a little bit of a head and shoulder fake, and watch what this does to the DB. Gets him completely on his heels, and he's able to run right by him, and he's able to explode up off of this release because notice his pad level. What a lot of you guys do is when you go a hesitation release, your pad level stands right up, and you're not in that explosive position like AB is in right now. He's in a very explosive position, and that's where we want to be anytime we're running a route. So he's able to get this guy on his heels, stays out of that range where the DB can get hands on him. Look at this. He can't even touch him right here because AB's getting out of that range because he knows that he's got to get up into this route. He's running a fade here, so it's longer developing route. He's got to get out there because he knows it's man coverage here. They're trying to make it realistic. This is man coverage. DB's eyes are on the receiver. Big Ben doesn't have forever to throw back there. That's how you make one-on-ones realistic, guys. You don't take 100 different moves over here because in a game-time situation, quarterback's sacked. You can't take 100 moves. You just got to get up into this route. So he avoids the contact with him, and now he gets up into this route, restacks him. He does a great job of getting back on top of this DB. Now, while he's working up, I want you to notice he doesn't get here and start looking back for the ball. He's got his head down straight forward, pumping his arms, trying to get some separation from this guy. Then he looks back. He gets him for about 3 steps, and then he starts looking back for this ball because I want you to see Big Ben throws some air on this and lets him out there. Look where he's making this catch. If he looks back too soon, this is a pass breakup. He's showing late hands. This is also a great technique here for receivers, showing late hands. He's not showing his hands super early. Late hands, let this ball drop right in because this DB is reacting to his hands. He gives him late hands. He can't make a reaction to this ball. It's a great job looking early, not looking too soon. Not looking late, not looking too soon, and catching this ball over the top. All right, so this last route, AB does this little hesitation hop, kind of a skip into it. Now, what he does in this, he's closing the gap with the DB. I love that. Make this DB play, make this DB get on his heels. I love that, closing the gap. But what also he's doing is he's gathering information. How's he going to play me? Is he going to try to get his hands on me? Which way is he turning? And he's just gathering information on this DB. He's making a read on him. And then he's able to change speeds right on a dime. He comes off nice and slow, fast, kicks up into second gear, and now he's getting his hands off him. Again, guys, it's not just the release. Inside, up into the stem of the route, at the top of the route, you always got to be working your hands. You always got to be physical because the DBs are taught to get hands on you and be physical. And he's fighting his hands. Get some separation. And again, he doesn't start looking back for this ball until he's got him by about 1 or 2 steps. I love that because that's how you get separation. You beat this DB by 1 or 2 steps and he's gone, especially at this level. But if you look back too soon, DBs are some of the fastest athletes in the NFL. They will catch up. Looks when he's got him by about 2 steps. And then again, late hands. Look where his hands are catching this ball. He's catching this thing almost by his waist. He's not bringing his hands way up here because he knows this guy's playing. And if you show late hands, he doesn't have enough time to react. That's a great job on this deep ball by AB, being able to catch this thing and then get upfield for the score. All right, you guys, I really want to thank you for watching. I really appreciate it. Again, please leave in the comments who you guys would like to see me break down next. And also, please subscribe to this channel. That would also mean a lot. I'll see you guys next time.